But we can move on to another news story here. Let's talk about Mass Effect, baby. Let's talk about Mass Effect and some very good news with the development of the next Mass Effect game. So BioWare's head, Michael Gambel, again, a notable name on the franchise, says the executive producer, the art director, creative director, and game director have worked on the original trilogy. So those, again, that tenured talent, that experience on the Mass Effect franchise are back in the driving seat for the next Mass Effect. So it's cool. It's cool. I'm very, very excited about this. Again, Michael Gambel. I'm pretty sure Michael Gambel is the executive producer. Actually, that might have been a typo, but yeah, it's beautiful to see, in my opinion. How do you feel about some of the like returning talent coming back for this next Mass Effect game?
That's awesome. At the end of the day, I still feel like EA is going to have a major part to play in what freedoms they give these people. But I really, really want to see how this shapes up to be. It's still early days for me. Like I still need to see what they can come up with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I am being hopeful here of an EA property being good. This is me being hopeful. It's gonna end up better than Andromeda.
That was so pain. That was so much stress behind that. He said, Oh my goodness. All right. So this is my thing. EA knows damn well they need to really crowd around certain single player experiences to make sure that they do well, because they know how good they can sell. Again, the Star Wars Jedi Survivor games, prime example of this. And I feel like they've already got certain grounds covered. You know what I'm saying? They're pumping into Apex Legends. There's apparently some type of new Apex game coming, from the Titanfall team, Respawn team, Steve Fukuda and all them. It's not Titanfall 3. I don't know why the fuck it's not, but that's a whole nother conversation. There are some bases that need to be covered. In terms of what they can draw from existing franchises, the two biggest franchises, or two of the biggest franchises that you can pull from in terms of single player numbers and get good output from: Mass Effect, Dragon Age. I feel like those two have been, again, dormant, sleeping giants. They've had their own struggles, trials, and tribulations. That's just BioWare in general after what happened from the game I forgot the name of because I've repressed the memory. Never mind. Unrepressed. Anthem. That was what it was. So there's already an emphasis to make sure these next few games from BioWare are knocked out of the park. Again, there's been a lot of careful, meticulous, very, very painstakingly, just like watchful development over Dragon Age, Dreadwolf, and the next Mass Effect game. And like how I said before in this podcast about how people leaving projects signifies a red flag, people returning that have experience in these areas and avenues that have a good track record are a green flag to me. This is a very green flag in my opinion. I love Mass Effect. Let's not fuck up Mass Effect. That is my bottom line for all of this. And if that requires some new blood who are, again, taking care of certain things and trying to help expand where we go, but also understanding how delicate and sensitive some of the nuance of a BioWare game, let alone Mass Effect in and of itself, is, and kind of navigating through those nuances, I'm more than fine with this. I'm more comfortable that they're in the driver's seat to help bring another Mass Effect in, so they can not only, again, help build this next game, but also help teach the people who are newer to the franchise, who are on those teams, the DNA of the IP, the DNA of what they made, the DNA of what came before. And that can help guide them to where maybe if they decide, hey, I'm probably going to set it down and move on to some other shit, they have the DNA of what came before instilled in the new blood. And that can have a knock-on effect, the synergy. And I feel like that's something that is really understated in how games are made, just from a consumer standpoint, because most people don't give a fuck to know, but it would be nice to kind of have that background information a little bit. People understate the synergy of the team. They understate how experience and how tenure over an IP and seeing it come to life for the very first time builds those bonds and builds that natural understanding of how these things go down in whatever IPs it is. Again, you see what happens before when teams are formed, when they do good, and when tenured executives and tenured people in those spots leave. It doesn't feel the same because there might not have been that same amount of time to mesh with, again, other members and really give the message of, hey, this is what works, this is what doesn't, this is usually how this might go. The tendencies build, the habits form, and really, really strong teams for that IP are established. And them coming back only helps to get closer to what the DNA of Mass Effect is. I like this. I want this. Again, I think they are being more careful. EA is being very careful with BioWare, I think, at this time. I think it's one of the things they're actually doing right. They're not rushing them in any sense of the word. And I think this is perfect because the way these single player games can have an impact, I think they want to take as much time as they can. And I think BioWare deserves it. After the shit that they went through getting pushed so hard on Anthem, like I think they deserve that time. And it's only going to end up being a net benefit to the Mass Effect game that's coming out soon. Please don't fuck it up. Please. My heart and soul is riding on this. It is literally, honestly, in my power rankings right now, it is my second favorite game franchise of all time. Behind Kingdom Hearts, it's literally my favorite game franchise of all time. I absolutely love Mass Effect, and I was a late fucking bloomer. I was so late to this game. I love the Mass Effect games. The Mass Effect trilogy is fantastic. I still gotta play through Andromeda, so again, that's why it's so high ranked in my playlist. Andromeda might drop it down a little bit, but I don't know. But that's what y'all telling me. But
all I'm gonna say is that I remember being in your shoes and being this optimistic about a new Mass Effect game. I played Mass Effect 3 on the PlayStation 3. I bought the collector's edition, and it was closer to the PlayStation 3's end of the life cycle. So I can't say I was like the first person waiting for each game to drop. But yeah, there's a reason why I'm not very excited for Mass Effect 5. And I just I can't give you that experience that I had of hearing Andromeda, waiting, listening to news, and finally getting that game and being like, this is it. I don't even think I beat Andromeda. I think I got I don't even know how far I really got. It was so disappointing I didn't beat a new game on my PlayStation. Like, it was just like, dang. And it just, maybe I'll revisit it. But boy, you have fun with that. Let me know how it goes.
Yeah, listen, I got to get my due diligence. But for me, with this news, I am very, very optimistic about the development of Mass Effect and the next one that's coming, just because we have that experience back, and that can be a real guiding hand to what's coming in the future.